I'm feeling good, bro. Are we up and running? We live right now? We doing it?
Yeah, we can be live right now. Let's call this the start. All right. So
Whoa.
we've been doing these the same way every single time. We do it with introductions. So tell the people who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, my name's Bott. I'm with Dicronix, and I own a functional glass and art gallery in Denver, Colorado. That's also a glass blowing studio and an event space as well. Um, and it's basically just kind of a wild place. It's not your typical everyday mom and pop smoke shop. So I guess what we do differently is that we're all local products from Colorado, or if we're not from Colorado, it could be from Pennsylvania, could be from Oregon, but they're all homies that we have met or connected with through some convention or somehow or another. We never just buy random glass from random people. We don't buy random products from random people. So everything in this store has a personal touch. So it's kind of like shopping from my from like my house almost, you know? So
Well, right on. Well, before we get into like the giant backstory of you, do
oh
you have like a little bit of a backstory on Dicronix? Like how did you come up with the name? What was the brand like? Like what was that all about?
it's a wild story, let me tell you. It doesn't get much wilder. I'll just start like before I see I'm in a cannabis state in Colorado, and I was following cannabis guidelines until one day the government and the state decided to zone out all the caregivership. So it's like the end times of it, like being medicine out here. And now it's just for fun, recreation. It's just like having a drink or doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
before all that, how I started Dicronix is I was watering my plants like I always did. And I was thinking of something better because people kept telling me the writings on the wall is you can't be a caregiver in the state of Colorado anymore legally without being out of compliance for zoning. So because of that, the zoning laws basically says, yeah, you can have 6 patients and each patient can have 12 plants and you can have all the rights to those plants. But in a residential neighborhood, you can't have more than 6 plants no matter what. And I was just one of these guys who's been out here since 2006, and I was getting it. I had 7 different grow rooms, and I had a huge outdoor back hoop house, which got me in trouble in the long run. And I had to do some cannabis time. And before I did the cannabis time, before I actually got arrested, prosecuted, and put into jail for cannabis cultivation, before that, I was already building Dicronix. I was already collecting glass. I was finishing out some harvests. I was like, man, I'm just tired of growing anymore. Every time somebody comes over, they're like, damn, this shit, man. Like, people don't do it like this anymore. And, you know, I would get all these, you know, big time guys come and be like, you're like the last of it. Like, and instead of me shutting it down right then and there, I just said, one more, just one more. And I got hit. So in that process, I was building this company with a friend of mine down in Miami. And he's a Miami resident. He would come to Colorado to all the conventions, and I would work at the convention. So we had made a 10-year relationship over time. So as I was going through all this cannabis stuff, this cannabis charges and all this, I decided to sell my house, sell my grow rooms, take every bit of cash, pay whatever I owed off, do. And I went down to Miami, and I sat there for like 9 months straight, and I built Dicronix right out of Miami, right out of the heart of the grimiest city in America. And so my business partner helped me come up with the name Dicronix. We sat in an apartment in the hood, and we sat there, and we had hundreds of names, man. I still have all the papers I flipped through, but it was about early 2016. And I'd have to fly back for like case trials and all kinds of shit to deal with my old grow. And this and that. And I thought, you know, a $10,000 lawyer and all this shit would actually like be worth a shit. But in the long run, I got what I had coming to me. So how Dicronix got built, though, just to stay on task, is that he helped me come up with that name, and we built a store in Wynwood, Miami, and we just about opened. And I just kept seeing some writing on the wall saying, go back to Denver, take your store, go back to Denver. Me and my business partner weren't really getting along that well at that point. It felt like more like he didn't really have the same concepts I have. I'm not going to get into like how bad that might have been or whatnot, but I decided to wrap it up on Miami, kiss whatever money I spent goodbye, lick my wounds, get my shit, come back to Colorado and use my name Dicronix that I had built down there. And he decided he would start with my old shop, a place called Wynwood Glass and Vape, which may be successful today, maybe not. I don't really know, because I don't focus on shit like that. Only focus on, you know, what I'm doing. I never worry about all that. So I came back, and in the late 2016, early 2017, we opened up Dicronix right here, and it was probably half of what I really wanted to had started when I started a business. So I was already behind the 8 ball on that sense. So
was the concept always to be like an art glass shop? Was that always your goal for Dicronix? Like what was the goal for it?
The goal for Dicronix was to be different. It was definitely, I had this idea for glass, because I used to spend $10,000 in glass shops, and then still they'd forget your name and shit, bro. Like out here, like it was like hurtful almost. You go in there, you drop 10K, and you don't even know the guy's name, or like you're not even, they still treat you like just an average everyday Joe. So I just wanted to be different, man. That's why I do this open shelving. This is more like shopping for high-end shoes when you come here. You get this like personalized customer experience that nobody else gets.
Well, when you were telling me about your prices, I did remember about like your open shelving, and I was like, man, if I had prices like that, I'd probably have things locked up. It'd be like a jewelry store type of thing where just have it locked down and you can give it the one-on-one servicing, but that's really more security than it is service.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if you came in here and you saw me, you might think twice about what you're about to embark upon, whether it's steal a pipe or, you know, try to do some crazy grifting thing where one girl goes here and one guy goes there and they try to do their little hootie hoo lid this and that. Next thing you know, you're missing shit. If you need my shit more, if you need that shit, bro, you can have it. I'll give it to you. I'd rather just give it to you, because to me, shit comes and goes, money comes and goes, but relationships and community and friendships are lifelong to me. So I treat my customers like that. Soon as they walk in, they already know that's the vibe. Like, you can already tell right off the bat. You're like, damn, if I was to steal, I'm probably going to think twice about it, you know?
Yeah, well, I can for sure say that I've been there.
Bang, 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 bang.
We're all rocking the same gear today. But yeah, I mean, you put out that vibe on your social for sure, and it definitely felt like that in the store. Like I felt like I could just kind of just have my way around the place and like not have somebody lording over me, and like you just kind of like let people peruse at their own leisure. And not for nothing, you have so much more in there other than just like pipes and whatnot. So like not everything is like a to the level of like, do you need me to take it out of the case, you know? Like
Yeah, I want you to come up. I want you to like point at it and then maybe look at me and then be like, is it okay if I touch it, or is it okay if I take a picture of it? I love that one. I'm like, yeah, bro, picture, please have at it. Tag Dicronix, you know. But what we try to do here is try to do something a little differently than we stand behind the glass. We serve you whatever pipe you want. I bring it down, I show you, then I put it back because I don't trust you as a person to pick up some of the stuff, right?
Right.
I've actually had great success with the open shelving idea, and honestly, I could show you and everybody else. Everything we do is different. It's all in antiques all the way around. Nothing is IKEA bought, so to speak. Like all of our displays are from the 1800s or from some crazy pawn shop or score that we looked online, or not everything's kind of unique, so
Yeah.
it gives you a little bit more time to kind of like look through, just because it is different.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so now I'm gonna like start bumping this to way back. It's time for story time.
Oh,
So,
no way, dude.
You and I have known each other for what's that?
I said I better pack one up.
Yeah, get that memory nice and sharp.
Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure. All right, I got it.
So you and I have known each other for decades at this point.
We really have. Cheers to that, bro. Cheers to that. Boom.
So I find it to be very interesting how business interests can bring people together the way it did with us. With that being said, there's been a lot of time in between where I didn't have my finger on the pulse of Casey Bott. So what I want from you now is to hear the long version of everything in your professional journey that led up to where we see you at this point. So we have all the time in the world. Have your thoughts. I give the spotlight to you.
I need my manager right now, stat. Oh, that's a deep question, huh? Oh, damn. It's been a lifelong adventure for me being an entrepreneur. That's for sure. When I grew up, my dad was an entrepreneur. My mother's family were entrepreneurs, and we were guided in a direction that you better become something greater than yourself or do something, big in this life. Like, we were sold the American dreams as a kid, even if we weren't living it at home, like in the stable relationship and the family and all this and that, like we were given like, you better go out and do something good or you're a bum, right? You're just like, they didn't instill us to be like, maybe my brother or sister, but they're like, Casey, you have no hope fucking working for somebody else like that. Like, so you better go figure that shit out. And I have worked for other people, don't get me wrong. It's built a lot of character in me for sure. But damn, man, I always tell this story. While little Johnny and little Kev and old Sally were riding their bikes and shit, my dad had me on a job site fucking shoveling ditches and like being behind backhoes and like, doing stuff that like normal kids, like he tethered me to the roof. Like he'd be up there roofing and he'd tie you to the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like you would get child abuse today for some shit like that. But back then they were just like, tie him to the roof. Like
toughen them up.
Bang, bang, doing shingles or, whatever. I mean, my dad was a monster contractor back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he's like the Jesus Christ of fucking contractors, man. Like this dude is for real. He touches it and the shit is like boom. You're like, wow, He had that much craftsmanship and that much detail that as a kid I would tell grown ass men, I was like, yo, bro, you better shovel a little quicker because my dad's going to come around that corner and fuck you up, straight up, bro. I can still remember telling old-ass dudes, I'm talking dudes out of college and shit, and I'm like 13, 14, like, bro, he's coming, man. Like, my dad was probably one of the most ruthless fathers in Western Pennsylvania, and I don't know if I could come up against another more ruthless father, I would be interested to swap stories with that kid, because we didn't have it like we really had to put that grit in. I'm not gonna go as far as saying, you know, crazy things, but I could tell you today they call it abuse, right? Today in this society, that's what they call what you would have to, basically getting hazed.
Right. I think everybody has that story. Like, it was just the way they did it back then.
Totally. That was the way they did it. I hope I'm not talking too much. And for
No.
everyone out there watching, I want you to know that I am a very humble person today. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I am literally a humble servant to the universe and to the Lord every day. As a sinner, I try to be a better person, and as a right hand to God. That's actually my left hand, but whatever. I really am a solid individual and person. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that, bro. I don't want that in the background, but just to get that out of the way, I don't think I'm better than you. If you grew up and you had this like super happy little life, and I'm already making fun of you, but I'm saying if you had this like really nice situation, like I look up to you today in society because you know how to control yourself all the way through, right? And so for guys like me, I have to have a Catherine, or I have to have somebody right there to bring me back down to reality, because I am the big dreamer. I am the big hype man. I am the like, but I get shit done. But at the same time, if you don't have that person there to kind of like cut it, bro,
that balance,
rap on you. Yeah, like that's I guess why I'm successful and some of my friends are dead. You know what I mean? It's just like, I should probably be dead, bro, from what we did as kids. Like I probably shouldn't be here, but that I am today, that's why I give to people out there, and that's why I never hoard my shit. I never gouge my customers. I don't belittle people. You know what I'm saying? And I try to grow as a person every day, bro. But I don't know what long story you're looking for other than a lot of pain and drug addiction and hardcore fucking angst, bro, to get to where I'm at, bro. You know?
I mean, you can go in as deep as you want. I was more, I'm thinking like, so you go in and you get this type of work ethic instilled from your parents, your family.
I do.
And then like you leave high school, and I don't exactly know where you go from there, but like, as like it pertains to you building Dicronix, like specifically, like what all did you go through to get the knowledge that you needed to be able to have this store?
Basically and I guess that's where I always get off track. It started from the time I came out the womb, man. I came out the womb and I was already ready to like take it to the next level on people, right? Like I had long pinky nails and long thumbnails. Ask my sister, she hasn't talked to me in 20 years, but ask this chick and she will tell you this kid in like 3rd grade had long pinky nails and thumbnails and was already like hanging out in the projects. Like I had my mom drop me off in the projects while other kids were going to, you know, going to do some like kid shit, right? So like I kind of grew up really hard, and because of that, I just kept rolling that. I kept rolling like I'm really good inside, but I've been through so much. I just keep rolling that into a fucking ball and just keep smoothing it out and keep trying to figure out, you know, what it is that makes me tick. But I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never wanted to be anything else. I didn't care what it was, whether it was a professional tattoo artist, whether it was the man who started a t-shirt company as a kid, whether it was whatever. I always was like, I want to be a businessman and I want to do good works in the community. And so that's what I've been continuing to do daily, day in and day out.
That's one thing that I noticed from you really early on whenever I started, whenever we reconnected and I started following you on Instagram and stuff like that, your connection to your community, the amount of like giving that you just, people are, wild characters show up and you just give things to them, or if it's just homeless people that are around your block or whatever, or you just happen to be walking by them, the amount of giving that you do is actually it's pretty amazing. Like I don't know if I know anybody else that just does so much out of pocket giving the way that you do.
Well,
You gave to me whenever I was at your store.
Dude, you have no idea. I give to everybody. You know why? Because if you give a little bit more than you receive, you'll just keep receiving, man. Even when you're down, you're going to receive because you've been given while times were good. I guess like my whole thing is like, I don't hit my hands and knees when shit is bad and say, oh God, please help me out of that. I used to do that. And God checked me to, or whatever, the universe checked me to the core, to the point where it was like, you hit those fuckers every day. You do the same thing every day, whether you're doing really well or really, really not well. Because a lot of people don't know, I come from a really fucking wealthy family that doesn't give me shit. They're like they always remind me of Steve Aoki. His dad was like the owner of Benihana, right? But never gave him a fucking inch. And the dude was like so hungry because of that, right? He was like, oh, you can make it, right? But, because a little wealth goes a long way, but if you're given that shit, how long does it go? Or do you appreciate it the same?
Right. I mean, it's like you can grow up and be comfortable, but if you can somehow instill them that hunger, that drive, that need to still earn and create something of your own. Yeah, I think of that a lot. Just because like there's a decent amount of people out there that are making some good enough money to pad their kids, and I know people like that just don't have the heart and don't have the drive and don't have any motivation. And that's like it's yeah. So I applaud that parents can navigate that somehow, because that's a difficult thing to basically be successful in your life, but then all of a sudden that's actually what ruins their kids.
Yeah, man. I mean, it can go either way. You can be a really resentful person like me. I use it as fuel for my fire. I'm like, oh, you guys got all this shit and you don't want to share none of it with me. That's okay, because I'm going to have my own shit, but I think I'll do it a little differently. I think I'll do it maybe a hair differently, where I've got a little more open dialogue with my kids. I got 2 kids. I got one about to be 12 and one about to be 8, going on 18. But point being is that I instill in them that I just instill everything good, man. I instill that if they hated their dad and they were sisters, it'd be better for them than to break up their sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I just instill the best characters and qualities I could possibly instill in my children, because I don't know if a lot of people feel this way, but I don't want to end up like my parents, where I'm hella salty and they think everybody's after their money, when really all I want is some love. Right? But I don't get that. I get more hate and anger and hostility. And so because of that, man, I try to keep this real open dialogue with my children. They're back there building a pool right now, dude, doing some fun kid shit. And
I saw that on your Instagram.
I'm proud of them for that shit, man. First time they blew that up, they didn't know there was a 2-tier on that. And then they blew it up the second time. They're like, ooh, we found the second tier. And next thing you know, they're jumping off a fucking a log back there into the thing. So, I'm still I'm a man of many things, man. I'm a family man. I'm a up and coming artist. I'm an art salesman. I'm trying to be a good boyfriend to Catherine. That doesn't always not always the case for me. But yeah, I'm just a real raw dude, man. Like I don't give a fuck who's watching this and sitting back thinking, who you gonna judge? Look yourself in the fucking mirror. Just the same way I'm gonna go home and look myself in the mirror.
I don't think anybody watching this is gonna look at you and say this dude isn't raw.
Oh, that's raw, bro, for sure. I'm there. I'm 100%.
But just knowing that there's like a couple steps in your professional background, when everything in I obviously know this because we had this conversation not too long ago, but when everything happened with Colorado going recreational, you have a background of being like a greenhouse grow consultant.
All day, man. All day.
How did you get into that, and like then how did you leverage it into what you have now?
Well, I mean, I used to be one of the biggest basement indoor growers in the state of Colorado. Like if you needed a basement built in Colorado, I knew the power company was on my cell phone, all the people that you would need to build that grow room. So I had built probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 different like solid grow. I'm talking about, I had 7 myself and I consider that one grow house. I'm saying I've built, 15 to 20 houses out because I come from construction. So I was like, oh shit, I know how to rip a wall out and drop a fucking box here. And I know how to do this and do that. A lot of the cannabis industry shit, man, there's a lot of people that don't know what they're doing out there, but I give them mad props because they get up every day and they go out and drive and pretend like they do until they do it, because growing is one of the motherfucking things where one day you think you got your finger on the fucking pulse and the next day your plants aren't responding the way they should be. Or this is happening, that happening. And that pressure on your shoulders as a grower or as a grow consultant, I mean, whew, boy, that shit is that's some serious shit, man. There's really only a hand group and bunch of people that actually really know how to run those grows and really do it big. And I spend a lot of time with them and I have all that knowledge and stuff. I just lost the passion for growing cannabis because of my arrest and my incarceration. And I have way more of a passion for bringing the cannabis community, the glass community, the music community, and the tattoo community all into one big ass community. Maybe there's a few other fashions in there too. I'm not thinking about it. And if I didn't mention you, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But I really try to bring that in, all into this, like, because the glass blowers can't live without the cannabis growers and without the people making herb and like you can do art glass and shit, like, which is cool, but like pipes and all that stuff doesn't survive unless the cannabis industries are thriving,
right.
So I guess that's where,
let's be honest, we're not using it for tobacco.
Oh shit, maybe you are if you got the corn cob, daddy.
Yeah, for sure. I've actually smoked one of those, and that like real tobacco, that like
that's fire shit, bro.
It's good. That's really good. Shit. I'm also a very big cigar guy.
Well, and if you like that old school flavor, I like anything that's nostalgic, that brings you to the 1800s or the 1400s or the, whatever, just brings you back in time. I'm big on it. I still go out in the woods, and instead of putting a dip in, I put in red, man. I grab this big ass thing, hanging that leaves on it, chew on it. This shit's gonna fire me up, bro. I'm gonna walk through here, and being a boy from Pittsburgh, man, and coming out here, and really you're a boy even in your early 20s and stuff, because you don't realize it, but when you move away from your family and you cut that off and you really start to become a man and shit, then it's been a fun ass journey out here in Colorado for me, especially a boy from Pittsburgh. Like I said, man, I came out here in Colorado in 2006 with a book bag on my back and a needle in my arm, bro. Straight up. That's how I came out of Pittsburgh, with a can of spray paint, because I was angry and I was back there painting and I was living on the edge and, not doing what I'm supposed to do. I think somebody's at my door. Somebody's definitely at my door right now. Who is it?
You want to answer it? We can just like I'll make a cut and post.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Trace. Tim who? No way. This motherfucker, Tim, the noble chemist, is here from fucking the upper UP. See, don't cut this shit, bro.
I won't.
Fuck a cut. What I'm trying to tell you is you never know who is going to walk through this door. Is this Tim? Yeah. Is it Tim Farrell? Bro, you didn't give me any notice. You just flew down from the UP with a good. Come over here. He's got a friend. Well, I don't know him, but I know you. Come here. Just put your face in here. Look at the type of people that show up at my shop without even
Pickle Rick up in the house.
This guy's right out of the UP with a Pickle Rick and what is this, a Gucci?
Gucci alligator.
Fucking let me see this shit, bro. Get my podcast real quick, bro. Damn, bro. This is sick, man. Look at you. What do you want to do? You want to go and do a quick dinner real quick while I finish this podcast with my homie?
I'm happy that I talked to him. I'm going to talk to my brother. You finish this up quick, and then we'll link up. Sound good?
Yeah, I'm not going to finish it up quick, but I'll link up with you when I'm ready, dog. What?
You're going to get some seafood or something.
Go get some, in a place with no seafood. Go get some seafood over here with no ocean. Yeah, get that, bro. And then who's your friend, dude? Why is he lingering on my porch? Who is he?
That's Bott.
Okay, well.
Who we dealing with? Who is that?
Dude, that is one of the main famous growers from fucking the upper UP, dude. In what's the town? What? Kingsford, Michigan. This dude comes down from Kingsford, Michigan, and is standing on my front porch. I know him because he's a freaking really good cannabis grower, an absolute seed fiend, and one of the best seed guys you can catch out there. Like, he has some of the best cannabis strains that hit anywhere in the country, bro. So go do your thing, bro. I'm gonna finish my shit, bro.
Well, that's awesome.
I didn't think we could even have a podcast without somebody. That's why I couldn't even schedule this shit, bro, because I couldn't do it. I can't. You're like, when do you want to do it? When do you want to do it? I'm like, I do want to do it. I just know that, like, I got yesterday. DJ Lucid, bro, popped in my building.
Right, where you were just saying, like, you never know who's gonna walk through your door. Like these like ridiculous human beings are walking through your door. And to that point, where you were saying like it was hard for you to figure out when to schedule this, it's kind of hilarious on my part. I decided to pick the one, basically the one industry that is so haphazard right now and so hard to organize. And I want to talk to small business and entrepreneurs and have them on the podcast to talk to them. And of course, like, this is the absolute worst time to be like trying to like, hey, give me your time, because it's not like you could be using it for anything better. Like, there's not a pandemic or a recession or anything like that going on.
Yeah, if you own a trendy shop or like a trendy restaurant right now and you're a hip ass fucking chef, which I mad respect to all the cool ass hip ass chefs out there. I'll let your boy Case with the food. I love eating out. I love tipping people. I love going to the service industry. It's one of my favorite places to hang out after work, is just to go kick it at a restaurant and like get to have time away from the house and probably one of my favorite things to go with my family, Catherine and the girls, and just go and have a blast. Come on, they're living with me, bro. You can't get away from my shenanigans. I can't get away from it. So we're always having a great time, dude.
I think it's hilarious that we were just talking about you being a greenhouse grow consultant, and then like one of the biggest growers from Michigan comes out. But so next on like my points of business that I want to hit.
Well, and I guess that's where I lost track of mine is I'm still thinking about that Gucci fucking hat. I have no idea. One time he pulled a scooter out of a book bag, bro, and then just got on it and rode down. He was in like all Gucci and all Louis V, just flying off of him like a magical unicorn out in Colorado, like the
Extra as
crazy.
fuck.
Yeah, it just makes me like, I'm so glad I got out of, like, dude, I love Pittsburgh and I respect it, but tourism and living in a place where they have tourism is a whole different ball game than living in a place where all yins guys either live down in one area or the other. No offense, but people don't really typically move to Pittsburgh on the like tourism thing. Oh, I can't wait to go to Pittsburgh to do all the tourism shit.
Right, like you come to Pittsburgh for a Steelers game or something like that.
Pittsburgh, yeah, wasted with your friends till 2 a.m. somewhere.
For cheap.
And hope not to get your ass kicked or beat someone up. That's like the thing.
Well, that wasn't our issue, so good on us for that one. But I do want to. What's that?
It wasn't your Pat's issue. Well, it's me and Ben's issue. Let me tell you, and everybody else that I ever down through that mob Pittsburgh.
We'll be able to grease you through all the cracks. We know how to get out of every situation these days.
Yeah.
But I really want to get into a couple more things. One is the glass blowing studio. I'm very bummed out that
back right now.
I mean, well, no, let's just hang where we're at. But I was bummed that it was raining, and I don't think there was any artists there anyways. Nobody was working, but we couldn't go back and check it out. I wanted to like see people working. But how did that become a thing for you? Do you know how to blow glass? Like,
First off, if you're in Pittsburgh and you're watching this, Rex Glass and Mirror is my family. So, like, they're one of the biggest glass mirror, stained glass. My grandfather started this company called Rex Glass and Mirror, and we grew up with glass cutters in our, pencils and pens and shit. Like, they're a multi-million-dollar business out there. That's my mother's side, the Rectenwalds, but they own a Premier, like all glazing. I was a glazer. I fucked with stained glass as a kid. I fucked with like a ton of different plate glass and beveled mirrors, and I worked for that company for a couple of years, but I grew up around it as well. So I always had this real natural love for glass for some reason. You know what I mean? Like it was in my blood. Right? Like,
well, it's awesome, right? Like you see it, it's like you start with hot ass fire, and then you have this like molten ball of whatever, and then it turns into glass, like whatever the glass object is that you're gonna make. Like that, it's like a young boy, especially. I probably shouldn't say especially, but so for somebody like me, I was obsessed with fire and like looking at things like lava and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fudge, yeah, bro. Are you kidding me? Heck, you're a boy. You could be a girl and still freaking, be impressed by all that stuff. There ain't no gender to it, man.
No, for sure.
Natural elements are natural elements. This just came out of my glass blowing studio just this morning out of the kiln. It's a little cup, it's a little shot glass, but it's all made out of gold and silver fuming. This is one of my newest artists. Shout out to Stale Glass for coming into the Dicronix studio after COVID, and he's my first new tenant back from COVID. COVID knocked out a bunch of my glass blowers, which was fine by me because I wanted to reamp the fucking thing anyways and start getting some really getting in some really like high-end things that are really faceted and like look like diamonds and gems and like some whole new level shit. So now that COVID's, it's going to come back, but now that we're like more used to wearing masks out, we're used to, this is a new thing, right? People are getting back to business as usual a little bit. And So I'm getting another glass blower hopefully soon, and I'll have 2 glass blowers in the back of the studio. And you know, it's been an interesting ride because no, I don't melt glass. I melted some rods together. Nobody sat down and said, "Hey, Casey." Actually, they did. 10 years ago, Cam Anderson took me down to a spot. I wanted to blow a pipe so bad, I fucking couldn't even stand it. He taught me how to blow the pipe. I blew the pipe and shit. And at the time, I was growing up at my house, and pounds of weed were $4,000 a pound. And he showed me this little pipe, and he said, "Case, you just made this. It's worth about $5. And I was like, $5? I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I think I'm going to stick with grown for the next 10 years. But
all that effort, $5.
all that for 5. But you know what? I never forgot that. I gave that piece to my brother, and I hope he still has it somewhere. He might not. But point being is that I would like to get into glass blowing. I always buy my kids lessons every time any glass blower starts working for me and they do lessons. I always get both daughter lessons because I think it's super important to pass on shit to the young, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And that's such an unbelievably unique craft. You know, like if they know it.
It's alchemy, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up. It's learning how to become an alchemist. Like that's really what it comes down to be. And it's just like being a cannabis grower. If you're a real professional cannabis grower and you really know what you do, you're so dialed in that all you can do is eat, breathe, and shit your fucking gardens. Because they are your babies. One bad breath, one wrong move, and that shit is fucking, it's going downhill, right? Something's happening, right? So it's hard to stay up on top, like being a pro, you know, same way in football or anything else. Those guys eat, breathe, and shit what they do to become a professional. Hockey players, everything. If you embodied it, whether you're a radio DJ, that's why half of them are so big, because they eat, breathe, and shit sitting behind a microphone. Right? So whatever you do, you have to just do it to like the nth degree, right? So
yeah, I'm gonna have to grind out this a little more if with you bringing up radio DJs and everything like that. Not that I want to go into radio, but to be more successful at this for sure.
I love this podcast idea. I love catching people real and raw so you could get to know who they are, what they're doing. And
I think this revolutionizes information. I think that this takes out the middleman. It takes out the censorship. You know, we basically agree that we're going to have a good faith conversation, and you get to say what you want, and I'm going to kind of keep it in a lane that I want to keep it for like what I want this podcast to be. But other than that, like it's completely open to whatever anybody wants to say. And I'm right there with you, man. I love this new era of people listening to other people's conversations and just getting that it's like being an eavesdropper, you know, like you're just sitting, you're like being a spectator in the moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, you're really smart. You're a smart dude, and you know your shit. And it is like being a spectator in it. That's why I live my life on Instagram. If you guys ever want to see all my dumbass shit, go to my Instagram stories. They are edited by the police and by Catherine. But whatever I can slip through, you bet I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be lit straight up because it's what I like to do. It's how I like to keep things fresh. Like I have this grasshopper that's lingering around my shop, maybe 2 or 3 of them. And every day I see them, I make sure that I put a pipe up to their mouth and get them on camera. I have a few more. I almost got him today. He was creeping. Some people don't understand that. That's just me having a good time in a glass shop because I'm not your typical motherfucker who wants to sit there and sell a bunch of shit to my friends. I want to entertain myself, really, is what I want to do and have a good time doing it. And if you want to come and support that, and I'll entertain you while you're shopping, right? Because
that's so funny that you say that, because I feel like people have done that with me with my social media and like things that I post. They're like, what are you up to? I'm like, I'm posting things that I really like. And if you enjoy it, get along for the ride, because like that's basically what I'm up to. Like I'm showing you like an authentic look at like what my brain enjoys.
That's
And
exactly what I look when I see your shit, man. I see the ferret going up the thing, and me and Catherine are sitting there going, man, I wish I had a ferret, and surely do wish I had a fucking tube to do shit with. But that's how I roll, man. I mean, I literally try to embody all those people that were influential to all of us throughout our lifetime, and I try to like take the best characteristics of all of them and put them into a business, into a person, into an idea, a lifestyle. I've been claiming Dicronix has been a lifestyle since day one. I tattooed it at Miami Ink on the back of my leg with 2 palm trees with Dicronix. And I said to my old business partner, I will die for Dicronix because I believe in it so much, because I'm kind of the guy who likes to get the information out, man. I'm going to tell you if you're out of compliance on zoning. I get people in here all the time be laughing at them right now because mushrooms are legal in the state of Denver right now. But federally, they're about to prosecute a kid for 20 fucking years for growing mushrooms, bro. I got wrapped up on that whole game with the cannabis industry where they tell you it's legal, it's legal, it's legal. The cops used to come into my grows and used to throw the handcuffs at me and make jokes like, yo, bro, you sure you don't want to go to jail? And I'd be like, dude, get out of here. Nah, you know I don't. They're like, nah, bro, you're in compliance. You're in compliance. You know, we're just fucking with you, baby. We got a call, you know, it's a smell issue or whatever. And they used to let it ride, bro. You know, so mushrooms right now are a big hot thing in Colorado, man. Mushroom tech, mushroom everything is dropping. But federally, it's a Schedule 1 drug, and that the state of Colorado right now is letting the federal government step in on their turf after legalizing it is one of those things, man, where I am very cautious.
did they legalize it in Colorado, or did they just decriminalize?
Legalized it. You can grow it. You can own it. But he was out of compliance, man. It'd be like they saying you can grow cannabis legally within these parameters, but then you're out there just slanging big packs of dope everywhere, and you think that that's legal.
Right.
You know, that's not legal, bro. You're not paying taxes on it. Nobody's not regulated. You know what I mean? So right now they legalized it, but if you come pop your head up and start saying, hey, I sell mushrooms, or hey, I profit from this, or hey, I'm doing this, or hey, I'm doing that. The state of Colorado just let the federal government eat this kid for breakfast. So Dicronix, man, we get our name dropped on podcasts in the mushroom industry. Thanks you for everybody for doing that, because they send business my way. We sell spores, but we do not sell mushrooms. We do not sell anything to do with, you know, psilocybin or any of that stuff. But it's a ruse almost, man. That's how they get you, bro. They legalize it. You pop up, and then boom, they grab control of it somehow, and they wrestle the industry.
Yeah, well, I think it's like one of those things where they're trying to wade into it slow. So when they give people, they're basically giving people a little bit of rope to hang themselves, and whenever those people just like, you know, run too far, you know, they don't crawl and they don't walk, they decide to run right away, then they go after those guys. But it'll loosen up. It's gonna, like, I know. Man, there's a girl that I know. Actually, I should introduce you to. She has a project here called Plant Media Project, and it's all. I mean, it's more than just mushrooms and whatnot, but it really is just about like advocacy, news, keeping you up to date on like what the progress is and whatnot. But I actually wanted, but before
she should start a store and make it real nice, and then do that on a daily basis. And that's what Dicronix is. So
well, I mean,
going,
dude,
but
I think
that's
if
what
you
she's
two
doing.
got together, I think you could do something special. Actually, with your attitude and her knowledge, I think that between the two of you guys would have something for sure. But I really wanted to. I have this as like one of my points of business is like you have this educational aspect to your shop. And while I was in Denver, and I was really sad to miss it because it was like the day I left or something like that. You guys had mycology workshops.
Yeah, mycology workshops. Yes.
But so
you missed it just by a hair, didn't you? We
just
were like
by
in
a
the
hair.
process of throwing the event, right?
Yeah.
Stressful events, but yeah, man. I mean, whenever Pittsburgh's ready, man. I mean, they'll be doing the same thing. You know, they'll be teaching people how to home cultivate their own mushrooms. They don't even have to be psilocybin mushrooms, man. You could be growing lions, man. You could be growing all kinds of other mushrooms that are not psilocybin related, and it's just as cool. But obviously, psilocybin is what everybody like is after.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. But
I prefer CBD instead of fucking THC. You know, like people are like, "What? Fuck that."
Yeah. But yeah, I have to double down on what you just said about like you can grow anything and it's just as cool. Like I take a mushroom supplement that basically grows my gut biome. It restores all the bacteria, the good bacteria in your gut. And I mean, I've been doing it for a while, but it became even more important now during COVID. Like my whole thing is like, it's so weird that they're telling you everything that you should do to like kind of avoid getting the virus, but they're not really telling you anything that you should do to like make your body more resistant to it. So I've been doing as much research as I can possibly do to try to find out what that would be. You know, that's a difficult task because there's so many different perspectives. But one of the things was, you know, your immune system is like its strongest when your gut biome is like at its peak performance. So I just kept up with those mushroom supplements.
Yeah, and if you add like a little microdosing to that mushroom supplement, now all of a sudden you're fixing PTSD, all the other ailments, depression, a bunch of different things. Microdosing is huge right now, and I'm a huge advocate for it. Every time I do like regimens of mushroom, like I'll do a 30-day cycle and stuff of microdosing mushrooms. And I know where you're coming from with the mushroom for the gut, because it's a new shop they sell over at Natty Grows right over here. And as you know, I like to try all their shit. So I suck down all kinds of different little fucking drinks over there to try to keep my gut health correct as well. I mean, obviously what we take in that is that during COVID and during from here on out, 2020 to 20, whatever the fuck, health is where it's going to be at. It's going to be big thing on health, because
for sure.
I personally don't want my friends spitting in my face anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I took my mask off, but really I got double masks right now. Like I'm pretty much like, when I go out in Denver now, I mean, we're mask required. Yeah. So I don't even let people even walk through my door without that shit. Like, I'm like, it's nothing against you anymore. It's just like, that's the society we're living in right now. So like, you know.
Yeah, no one knows for sure. Like, there's a bunch of people that haven't been tested. And then even if they have, like, they could pick it up the minute they walk out of like the clinic, you know, like but they won't know. Like, if they don't show symptoms, they won't know they have it, you know? So like, I don't know. It's a weird world we're living in. But in that realm though, you were talking about health is going to be like a major going to be a major focus. It is a major focus.
I know, but for so long, fast food came into play, right? And then fast. So that's why we have all these fast fucking big ass butts around here, fucking, because You know what I mean? Everybody's fucking eating that shit, dude. And like, so
Right.
now with COVID and us not going out as much anymore, like Chick-fil-A tastes trash more and more every day I go to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm really hoping America starts doing American things and starts doing like all kinds of new innovative shit right here at home, man. I don't care if you're from Pittsburgh, Denver, California, fucking whatever, El Paso, bro, whatever. You're in the country, man. We need to come together as a country, and we need to be innovative, and we need to keep crushing the game, and we can't let motherfuckers tell us what the fuck we're relying on and what we're doing. The coolest thing, I don't mean to change the subject, even though I always get off topic, blah, blah, blah.
Go on a tangent. Let's go.
I don't give a fuck. I went to my boy's shop the other day, man, and these guys are building these flip-flops in there, man. He owns a little spot in this little warehouse, man. He has all this packaging and labeling and all this kind of stuff. And right, everybody, there's all probably like 25 businesses, a soap business, this, that, and the third. And they're in there building sandals, bro, that you could put your logo on, that you could interchange the top of the sandal, take the sandal off, put a different logo on the sandal. But to me, man, that right there the other day, I thought to myself, I said, America's going to be back, man, because they're making sandals up the street, man. Whether they got to get the sandal from Bangladesh and the fucking top from China, whatever. You put it together in America and putting the logo on it right here. Those guys are over there with their little fucking things and they're doing their thing. And I'm like, damn, how do I get some Dicronix flip-flops cracking, bro? I'm like, let's do it. If it's getting done in America, I'm about supporting it, man. And
send them our way. We'll figure it. We'll strike a deal with them, and we'll figure out how to get some Dicronix sandals for you.
Yeah, bro. My point being is that like just because the steel's gone in Pittsburgh, don't mean that innovation's done yet in America. And I guess that would be what I would want this whole thing to be about, is that if you were thinking about going to do something or become the person you want to be, become that person. Do that thing. Because I'm doing it, and I'm a kid from Pittsburgh with the weight on his shoulders, the chips on his shoulders. I just keep knocking them off one at a time, bro. And keep trying to kill the game, bro. I mean, some of the shit I come up on, man, I'm actually a big antiquer, bro. Nobody knows it, man, but, like, I love antiques, man. I love antique furniture.
I mean, if they look around your store, they might know.
Oh, man, I just got this new stand. I wish I could just show it to you so bad, man. But I got to get everybody to come out here and see it for themselves, man. I'm going to put this fish bowl on it. Like, I got so many cool ideas for the next 5 to 6 years, man. You know, I got big plans. Big plans.
That's fucking awesome. But where I wanted to go with the whole health thing. So I heard, and I have just to put it out there, because I feel like I've said a bunch of things that are, you know, I'm not the COVID expert or whatever, but I did hear that because you get such bad lung inflammation if you actually get like COVID symptoms and you get it bad, that CBD is actually a big it will like alleviate that in a big way. And I wanted to bring up the fact that you're affiliated with a CBD lab.
Listen, yeah, I'm affiliated with a couple. Hold on, let me just grab this off my shelf real quick. Since you can't see my whole shop. I bought this in the store. Where does it say? COVID.
Yeah,
COVID
I see it.
Cannabis.
Oh, yeah. How can I help?
Boom, bro. The complete guide. I just carry this shit around. Hopefully it reads itself if I just rub it on myself enough. But
like osmosis.
I got a couple books around here I'll be rubbing on myself, just like, hey, man, if I could just get a little piece of this today, that'd be great. But yeah, from what I'm hearing, the new 2020 thing just came out as well that says that cannabis and I mean, let's just be honest. You don't have an alcohol receptor in your body. You don't have a psilocybin receptor, right? But you have a cannabinoid receptor. You have all these THC related ones, right? In your body, in your DNA.
In your brain.
In your, right. So, you know what I'm saying? They don't have like a Viagra receptor. That shit just hits somewhere, right? I don't know where, but it just hits. But the point being is that I always believe in a complete cycle is CBD, THC, fucking anything you can get that's natural to put in your body to strengthen who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that, bro. I'm with that 100%. That's why I rock Dicronix, man. It's forever, bro. Marijuana forever. Like it's a forever game for me. It changed my life several different times for the good and the bad and the good and the bad. But I just believe in it so much. I'm not a hella nerd about knowing all the information. I know all the people that know all the information. I'm the dude that hooks you up with those people, right? But whenever those people need hooked up with these people or those people, I am that mid, you know, I am.
You're a curator and a facilitator.
I truly am, man. I truly am. And I could take you up to a lab today. CBD got crushed and cannabis got crushed because people in America wouldn't test on it for many, many years. They wouldn't like do any testing and shit. So, you know, some of the best tests are in Europe where they like tested people like on what it actually does to you as a person over time and all this shit. And
right in Canada's doing it big.
Yeah, and a couple other places. I think it was really Israel had this big ass shit too, where they did a huge study as well. And yeah, man, I just believe in the plant, man. I believe in all natural. I believe in I don't know, I believe in friendship and group and like whoever you are with and what you're doing. You should stick with that, man, and educate each other. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody knows everything, man. Even though I wish I did. I just don't, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to know everything as much as I wish I could. I definitely just don't have the capacity for it. And then you hear somebody who's just unbelievably intelligent. And then you know just how far back you are in like the ranking. Like you're nothing. You're a peon.
Oh, peon, man, for sure. You know, like my Catherine, she's got 2 degrees and working on 2 more degrees, right? Writing dissertations, glass blower in the back, same way, writing papers every day and shit. And I'm trying to get grasshoppers to smoke pipes. So that is a little bit of a shift, you know what I'm saying, in perspective of it. But it almost like people like that need to see people like this and the same vice versa. Like I look up to people that can get those degrees and can do all that. And they probably look up to me to be able to look at life and be like, yo, what? Fuck you. Fuck any disability. There's no such thing, man. I look past disabilities, bro. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I keep it moving.
Can I actually go in on getting to know her a little bit more? Like how does she fit in everything? Like what is her background?
My story's too long to get into everything about everything because basically every day in my life has been this wild ass fucking situation that you couldn't even write the movie to, right? Maybe you could, maybe. But Catherine fits in that she actually, dude, well, first off, she's a savior. You know, I was a single father for a long time. I had 2 daughters and I was raising both daughters on my own for a couple of good years. And that was hard shit, man. single mothers, all that shit. That's the hard singles fathers. That's the hardest shit you'll do, especially when you have no family out here. Well, I put my kids in a private school because I can one of the best pot growers in the state of Colorado at one time. So I put my kids into this private school, and I met Catherine. She was a teacher there. And Catherine's mother is actually the head Montessori principal up north in a Northern California school. Montessori being this children kind of come up in their own way. And
Yep.
It's a private way to come up.
Yeah.
Like it straight up, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to pay to play at a school like that. But she works at one that's public up past Sacramento. So, you know, Catherine just came up as the principal's daughter. So, and I came up a little bit differently. So that we came together, the principal's daughter and the contractor's son, we came together, and it hasn't been an adventure. I love you, Catherine. You always take good care of me, even when I'm in my darkest moments, and I love you for that. And she's been a guiding light, man. She's a little younger than I am. I got a decade on her, so she didn't see Beavis and Butthead Todd and shit. She doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? She knows more little Rugrats and shit like that, you know, but it's all good.
I feel like I'm a bridge between the two of you.
Listen, this woman is so freaking smart, man. She is absolutely the smartest woman I have ever met on this earth. I mean, rocket scientists are smarter, but this chick, I mean, she is literally in school 24/7, taking on information. Boom, 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 boom. Me, I can't, man, I can barely make eye contact to the screen, whatever wherever it is, right? But I know who I am today, and she knows who she is, and that's what makes us work really well. And she raises my two daughters like a swim coach, man. She takes care of them. She makes sure they're good. She loves on them. She really is, man. She just took these two of my daughters and just helps me mold them into these beautiful young girls. And then obviously they got this wild ass dad who owns a smoke shop and loves to have fun. And, you know, I'm pretty light and airy most of the time. I do have my moments like we all do, running a store, having a family, doing all these things. But,
yep.
You know, I'm the type of guy, man, I never really like to live in the past that much. When people start telling war stories, bro, I usually jump out. I'm looking for the future. I'm looking for what's next between me and you. Look, you know how me and you are even doing this right now? We're doing this because I fucking saw that sticker on the sign when I went down there to sticker down on the south side when my friend died. And I fucking stickered right next to you. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out because I know exactly who put this sticker there. I reached out and you're like, boing. 20 minutes later, it's like, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, I don't know. I'm standing outside, bro. You know?
Next thing you know, we were having drinks.
Next thing you know, we're having drinks, and I was turning you on to some of the coolest people around. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Scanlon's a fucking straight up G, bro. He's one of the best guitarists out of Pennsylvania, dude. Like, straight up.
Dude, you, that night, like, not to go completely down into a rabbit hole, but that night might be the best night I ever had while all of this has happened. While all of this, like, COVID.
Oh, guaranteed.
I had such a good time that night, and it was about as let loose of a night that I've had. It reminded me of the life that I used to be able to do.
Yeah, there was no substances. All we did was drink and fucking rage life, right? That's all we were doing. We had a few drinks, and then we were sucking in the fucking atmosphere, the clouds, the architecture. I mean, we were just fucking having at it.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't end that night. That the next day I had to get on a plane. I had to go down to that tattoo shop. I didn't even start getting tattooed until like midnight. Me and Catherine finished our tattoos at like 4:30 in the morning and drove back to Pittsburgh, drove back to the South Hills, fucking got in a bed. I fell asleep for an hour and 32 minutes, woke up, dude, and fucking had this huge fucking tattoo on my leg, and then got on the plane and bounced, bro. Like, that's how insane that night was. I left you with those two. I was like, oh man, I don't even want to leave this event that we're having right now. But we just kept it moving, bro, and it just kept rolling, man. And
100%. So with everything,
I'm super thankful for you, bro, and for this podcast. I just want you to know that flat out.
Man, I'm thankful for you too. Like I can't stress enough, especially now, like how much I value people who value people and value me. And like you sent me a message randomly the other day. You just said, I miss you. And I was like, man, like in 5 months, that message has probably come to me, you know, maybe like 3 other times from people that are far more closer to me than you are. But you were like, yo, I miss you. And I was like, yeah, I fucking miss you too, man. Like there's something to be said about that, where like you just are grateful for good people and knowing that you have good people in your life. And that's something that I think everybody right now, like I would kind of love to be able to like take like a big survey and being like, yo, are you recognizing who the good people in your life are right now, and who the people are like, they're like expendable? They're the people that are like, maybe they were fun, they were in the group or whatever, but like you haven't heard from them basically in 6 months because you can't do anything with them. You know, like they're not actually adding any value to you. Like you added value to me. I mean, you've added value to me in multiple different ways, but now in that day, like you changed that day for me.
No, I appreciate that, man. I do that for a lot of people, man. And once in a while, and a lot of times I get that back from people like you, people like Catherine, and really good people. When you give it out, you receive it back, man. Like, you know, one of my favorite things to do is to go out and go hiking and shit. And then I like to pull out that guy right behind you. I'm gonna point him out, this little happy face, this little outer space guy who's headed on out. I like to put his head on like shit. Like I'll go out and find like this still of a bird out in the middle of the woods, and like I'll just be thinking of you guys, you know. And I guess what that means is that I'm trying to build a family, because I don't have to. I mean, I wish I could tell you, mom and dad, I had the best family, but I just don't. I come from a broken home that's a fucking pain in the ass to fucking ever have a real conversation to. And so I try to build a fucking family with everybody I come across.
That's funny that you say that.
That's worth a fuck, I should say.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that, because like my family on paper looks like the perfect family. Me and my dad, not an amazing relationship, younger, much better now. But the thing though that I don't know if, I mean, I guess I can attribute it to being both of them. But I kind of attribute it to him more than my mom. We have a family full of people that I didn't realize weren't blood related to me until I was about 14 years old. And that lesson, whenever I figured out that those people that had called like aunts and uncles for all those years and thought that they were my blood relation, the lesson was that you get to pick your family. You truly do get to pick your family. So like hang on to those good ones and just ball them together. Like make sure that they know each other and they like, if you value them and they know why they are valued, when they meet each other, they'll stay together. Like there will be a cohesiveness, and you can have this family that is built of these people that actually aren't blood related to you, but are built of your values, built of everything that you're like built on and you care about. And that I have to give props to my dad, who I would, if we were going to have like a long conversation about like family turmoil, you would hear a lot of stories about me and him. But that is the biggest thing that he's ever instilled on me. It's the most valuable thing he's ever instilled on me. And it's the one thing that I really use as like my true North Star. And that's what brings you into my life. That's what brings like my best friend into my life. Matt Calusi.
Is that Pat?
I mean, Pat's a new best friend. Like Pat actually, he and I linked up. If we want to go into it real quick, he and I linked up because he was working with another company before Some Good Print ever happened, and we were always fringe friends, right? And he knew that I had been running this website that was basically about sports and geek stuff and technology and all that stuff. I called it Pittsburgh Jedi. And
I like that.
I mean, it still exists. I just haven't really worked on it yet. But when I get back to going to, if Some Good Print becomes my only thing, and it definitely will. But when I quit my 9 to 5 and I can go to Some Good Print, Pittsburgh Jedi is coming back in a real way. But he brought me on as a blogger for him, and we started crafting this plan where I would take all of these tedious things off of his plate so that he could build something bigger. And that was our strategy. And he was able to build Some Good Print and everything behind it. And he was also able to build Super Deep Creative, like build the foundation for that. And I was able to take all of these tedious tasks that were like social media based off of his plate. And through that, we just realized that we can communicate really well with each other because we understand the same things. And so for two guys that had been in the same room for probably 5 to 7 years and not really made a big stink about having a good interaction with each other, all of a sudden we saw a big value in each other. And now this is the result of that. But he is definitely one of my closest friends now. But like my best friend, who I was like his best man in his wedding and stuff like that. He is somebody that I knew through being in a band, so like the music is what brought us together. And then we just ended up going to the same college. We loved each other as like a band. We loved playing with each other. Found out we were going to the same college, decided to room with each other because we figured at least at the very least, we wouldn't kill each other if we found out we didn't like each other. Found out like we loved each other, and so that was like that blew up. But like, so that's what my family is, much like yours, the way that you're describing it. It's a bunch of like, it's the island of misfit toys, and you know what I mean? Like it's
the family, that for sure, especially the Dicronix family, because you got your shirt on right now, man. And man, I love how you could land all that together right there into the point, coming back to your father opening his arms to have a family outside of his own, so
yeah, for sure.
I treat everybody, I never call people customers in this store. I always call them either a client or a homie or somebody that's like actually a really friend, and I'll call you friend, and I appreciate it. And Dicronix is not racist. We hate all kinds. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. If you're a fucking dope ass person, you're a dope ass person. I don't care white, black, yellow, he, she, they. I don't give a fuck. I've had them all live upstairs. They've all been here, and I've dealt with about every type of person you can deal with. So they're all welcome here. I don't care if you smear toothpaste in your hair and then come in here, as long as you're respectful. Fucking, I'll let you in and I'll sell you a fucking pipe, or I'll even give you one just because you look like you need one instead. But yeah, man, I mean, Pittsburgh's a cool place, bro. I mean, people don't really understand that's an old tropical rainforest, man, and that it still is today. It's just a few million years evolved, and lost a few parrots and the winter comes and blah, blah, blah. But it's actually really difficult to get out of a place like that, man, and to make it into any other place. It's hard to do that from anywhere. Leave California and go make it in fucking Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? Good fucking luck. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's easy to leave Pittsburgh and go somewhere else if weather-wise, but the community that's here is something else, man. It like I've been to almost every single state and every single major city in the continental US, and there's something about Pittsburgh that's like really, really special. I think it's just because it's not that big that it can't be like that involved with itself. And but it's not so small that it doesn't have an impact. For whatever reason, it has like this gravity to it. But
it has a gravity to it, bro, for sure. When you're in Pittsburgh, you know you're in Pittsburgh, baby. How about DJ Lucid last night? His mom's from Pittsburgh. He's living out in Houston
really?
Right now. Yeah, his mom's from Pittsburgh. We were talking about the Incline last night with one of the most up-and-coming famous producers that are going to be coming up right now. DJ Lucid, check him out online and check out his last post at Dicronix when we had a fucking blast yesterday. But you know, we've catered to a bunch of different people like Mod Son and Kasky. They weren't here. We went to the bus to the show for them and we gifted them a bunch of stuff. But we had Gianni and Kyle. What was it, Gianni? Yeah, Gianni and Kyle. So we've hosted other famous people. We've had a couple of people that had famous songs on the radio, and their producers would come here and watch people blow glass and shit. And they're just like more behind the scenes people, but we'll shut the whole store down for them and fucking kick it and do what remind me what we did when you came here. We were about to have a mycology event, but what did we do? Did we smoke out? Did we have a good time? Did you go through everything? Like, I mean,
it was me and my roommate from college, and we rolled in, and obviously you and I had our conversation, and I was like, yeah, I just like want to kind of stroll through the store. And
bro, I looked at you behind you in 7th grade, bro, and you were back there. I swear to God, we were in art class when in 3 grade levels or 2 grade levels could be behind each other. And I can remember looking behind me and seeing Eli Revich and being like, I swear to God, bro, we were like fucking this big, bro.
We were definitely in the same art class. That's a real story.
The thing I look behind, I can still remember you, man. Still majestic as ever, bro.
No one has ever described me as majestic, so I appreciate it.
They are. Everybody is. I actually know 2 people that have called you majestic. So.
All right, I like it.
Person. 2 of them. Pat, you know who you are, fucker.
But yeah, man, we definitely go way back. But as far as this whole thing is concerned, I think we're on the home stretch, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro. We're having a good time, man. I'm just kicking it with you.
Yeah.
We could talk about a million fucking things, bro, but
man, we can go Rogan with this and go like 3.5 hours if we want to, but I know you got some things to get to, and there's a Pens game I'd like to watch.
Ooh, shit. I knew when the Pens were on, I was getting cut short, Pat. I already knew it. I was like, the Pens are on. Wrap it up, Dicronix.
No, well, that's why I was happy that we did it a couple hours earlier so that we could go long if we were going to go long. But there are two last things that I want to do with you. So we like to wrap these things up with like something interactive where you get to ask the people listening a question of like anything that you're wondering, anything that you want to know about them, anything that like you can offer them, whatever. You get to ask them a question, and then in the comments that they can throw that in there. So if you have a question for the people that are listening, what would that be? It could be serious. It could be silly as fuck. It doesn't matter.
I mean, and then I'm just going to wait for a response, right?
Yeah, just in the comments.
Right? All right. Well, I just want to know everybody out there what they want to see more of, man. Like for me, it's like, do you want to see more of nature on my mixed with glass? Do you want to see more of street art mixed with glass, meaning like real street shit, like fucking you're out on the streets showing art and people, like mixed with, because I'm trying to sell you something, right? If you're watching this podcast and you care about Dicronix, I've always been trying to sell you something out of here. You know what I mean? Because that's how I eat. So how do you like it? Like I would love to know what people liked it. Some people just like it just straight glass, still pictures, videos. That's it. They don't want to see any extra things. Me, I like to show you that I'm still in the stream, walking on a mountain or doing some fucking crazy shit, and then come back home later and be like, yo, check out this pipe. Yo, check out that pipe. Yo, check out this pipe. Like, you know, do you want to, like, how do you want to see it? Because I don't know. That's why me and Catherine, we debate all the time. You know, she's a real still shot. She wants to make sure that the info gets out. And I'm a real, like, let the story ride like a motherfucking snail that's out of control. And then she's like, yeah, but then you don't make any sales. So I just want to know what people want to see. I know they want to see me in check, so I'm working on that every day. So, you know, that would just be what it would be. What do you want to see on the stories? Like, you want to see more homeless people dumping chocolate and vanilla milk in their eyes? Because I got you on that. It's right outside the door, man. We live in Denver, Colorado, the home of the homeless. So it's a wild scene.
I think you're number 2 to Skid Row.
There's a Skid Row here, babe. Baby Skid Row. You out, girl? All right. Work hard. I'll see you soon. Thank you. I'll see you in the morning.
So, lastly, so people can reply.
4 different drinks during this interview, too, just so you know. I have 4 different drinks under here.
And you haven't had to go to the bathroom once.
Yeah, no worries.
But lastly, tell the people where they can reach you, your website, your social media, all the things.
I mean, most of the time I spend most of my day on Instagram stories or preparing for Instagram. I make most of my sales through my stories on Instagram. Some days I get up to 600 people viewing my story, depending on what I catch out there, and I can go as low as like 150 people watching my story. So I spend most of my, but that I can read that, I spend most of my time on Instagram stories. I think it's supposed to upload to Facebook. I think it does. I'm sure a few people get to watch that. I'm not a Facebooker, so you can't find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram stories. You can find me.
What's your handle?
Dicronix, Dicronix, but Dicronix, man. Dicronix.
What's the other one?
I have a Dicronix after hours, man, where I like to do the neck dance. You know, and I like to exercise on that shit. I like to just do whatever I want, but that's where Dicronix originated from, was the Dicronix after hours. But Dicronix is where you can find me at, bro, all the time. And you can call, you can show up on the door. I'm gonna go deal with fucking dude fucking the Noble Chemist right now. Around here somewhere. So you just never know who you can find. I just had Shannon Ballard and Seth Willie standing in my shop.
Yeah, yeah, Seth, South Fayette alumni.
No, I'm just saying. But yeah, bro, for real, man. I just want to thank you, and I just want to thank anybody that would even take the time out to listen to my freaking blessed soul. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, Eli, and I appreciate everybody that supports this store, because we fucking bleed for it every day. And we're just thankful to be on the planet and to share in the community of whatever that may be. So that's it, bro, right here.
Perfect. That's it.
Dicronix, man. You got the new one. I got the old one on without the functional glass and
Oh,
iron.
yeah.
That's how I'm coming up with a new logo, bro. I got it coming. I got a lot of new fresh shit coming, man. We just had DJ Lucid drop in the building, but we're always going to have new fresh celebrities stopping in to come and kick it, because this is a home environment where we lock the door and we let you fucking, we let you have a good time, whatever that may be for you. So that's gonna be lit, man. So I hope you come back out here when you coming back out here.
So I might actually try to come back out this summer. Another dude I'm gonna do a podcast with is a guy that I met with. I mean, a friend. I shouldn't just call him a guy. A friend that I met with when I was out and I met you, or I went to the store. And he has like a barn that he bought out in like the middle of nowhere, Denver. And he was like, yo, if you want to come out, come on out. And I have just a boatload of vacation time built up. So, you know, like I got no problem going out there and like literally quarantining out there, but like also just being out there.
Oh yeah, if you touch the Colorado Rockies, man, you might stay for a fucking month or two, bro. Like
I already have a friend who's moving out there. She went there for like a month to visit her sister, who was somebody that I was linked up with whenever I was hanging with you. But yeah, she's moving there. She's just uprooting and moving.
It's smart to do so, man. The Colorado grows every single day. They build new buildings. Colorado, since 2006, since I've been here, has grown exponentially and continues to grow. And it's still only 1/8 of the size of California's population. So because of that, as soon as you get outside of Denver, it's free. You don't have traffic. You don't have none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
really not that popular. Like Denver's pretty small still, and like you can still like drive around and not just be sitting in bumper to bumper traffic everywhere you go. So
it was nothing. That was never anything that I experienced whenever I was in Denver. In fact, people were calling it, whenever we had to drive 45 minutes, they called it the Denver 15.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, I could see that, man. I mean, Colorado does have its traffic and shit during its hype, and I mean, people come here to ski, and people come here to come and hike the mountains and shit, and to do all the cannabis smoking, and all that stuff. So tourism's huge right now. Tourism's down. It's mostly just a lot of locals and a lot of new people just moving here. You know? I get a ton of people in my shop that are like, I just moved here. So people are still moving from around for whatever reason, but I'm gonna keep it moving, man. I'm gonna build a shop down in fucking Pittsburgh one day, bro, and I'm gonna have a Dicronix Pittsburgh. I almost had one in Carnegie, but I still might get to it. Don't you worry, Pittsburgh.
Well, don't worry. If you keep us in the loop, and we'll help you out with that.
Yeah, I know you will, bro. I know you will, man. But let's keep traveling, man, and we'll keep it moving for right now. And I just am so blessed to have done this interview with you. I ain't never done a podcast before, bro. Like, straight up, this is my first. So you just pop my cherry, bro. So, I'm camera shy, baby.
Nah, dude, this is great. I got nothing but love for you, and thank you so much for taking the time, because we definitely did do some time. And yeah, man. I don't know. I got
stories, man. I'm gonna keep watching your stories. That's how I get to know you, bro. Fuck Facebook, bro. Straight Instagram.
All right.
Just keep posting stories, bro, because so much funner to flip through stories real quick. So much easier to just watch your whole day through a story like that. In 15 minutes, I gotta see your whole day.
IG, just the it's like a mirror into the soul, or window into the soul.
I always say, anybody watching this, keep an eye out for my story, because I'm gonna do some crazy shit every day, day in and day out.
You definitely do.
Keep watching. All right, bro. Dicronix is fucking out, dude.
All right, man.
Peace, bro. Let's do this again.
We definitely will, because I have way more questions that I didn't even get to. So 100%.
I know, bro, but I can't even. It's too much, bro. Pop my head up. I had to do this once just to kind of like get in the swing of it, you know?
People are dynamic. People are dynamic, man.
It takes a lot to open this book, bro. So let's just keep it moving, bro. I love you, man. And stay in touch. I'm going to keep posting up your stickers all over town, because I love y'all. And let's do a little project together soon, just to show everybody that we keep it moving like that.
Amen. We'll definitely do that.
All right, go Pens, bro.
Go Pens.
All right, dude. Peace.